In this video, we will learn how to write a SAS macro. SAS macro is a special programming language in SAS which is used to automate a code. Let us write a code first. I'm going to write a do loop wherein I'm trying to create a series of numbers from 1 to 10. Let's give the dataset name as test. Do I equal to 1 to 10. Okay, incremented by 2. Output, I want to keep it in the dataset, so I need to use output. I'll end the loop, run. Okay, let us and then let's print what is there in dataset. Proc print data test. Okay, let us run the code. That's it. So it starts with 1, it gets incremented by 2, and it reaches up to 9. Okay, well, if I want to automate this code, why do I want to automate this code? Because say for example, we need to keep on running this code over again and again. Okay, sometimes it's required. How do we automate it? We automate it by writing a SAS macro. How do we write it? Percentage macro, and then you have to give a name. I'll give ABC. You can give any name, and then you end a macro, which again percentage main. Okay, so that's how we define a code inside a macro. We start with percentage macro, mention a name, and then we end the macro with percentage main. Okay, I guess we need to do that after the print statement. Okay, that's how we define put our code inside the SAS macro, and then we will run it. Go to the log. Once you have run the SAS macro, you just need to you just need to call it over again and again. You don't need to run this code, this particular code again. Just run it once and it will be saved. It will be saved in the SAS session. Okay, let us call it. How do we call it? Percentage ABC, percentage, and then the name of the macro. Let us run this. And when we run this, look at it. Okay, so that's the very simple syntax. Simple syntax of SAS macro, and that's how we define a macro and call a macro. Sometimes we may need to make the code very generic. How do we make it? Well, we have hard coded it, right? Our upper limit is 10 and the incremental value is 2. What if we want to keep on changing it over again and again, and we cannot just go every time to the code and change it. We want to make it very generic in nature. Okay, so for that we parameterize it. I'm creating two parameters, a and b. You can give any variable name. I'm giving a and b. A and b are nothing but the macro variables. So macro variables, you can use it as a generic variable inside the code. Okay, and when you use it, make sure you use the variable with an ampersand sign. Okay, because macro variables are always used with the ampersand sign, just to differentiate with normal variables and the macro variables. Okay, you don't need to use ampersand here in the parameters, but inside when you are using it, you have to mention. Okay, let me run it. So whenever I am editing the macro, I need to run it over again. Now the macro is saved in the SAS session. I can call this macro now. Now I cannot call without parameters. I need to provide the parameters. What is my A and what is my B? Let me increase the upper limit. My upper limit is now 20 and I want to increment the values by 2. So what it will do is that uh, 20 is considered as A, and in the code A is used here. So in place of ampersand A, while running the code it will use 20. Similarly, in place of ampersand B, it will use 2. Okay, and you can keep on changing these values. Let us run this, and you can see values starting from 1 to 19. I can make it anything. I can make it say 40, and then I'll increment by 4. You can see starts with 1, gets incremented by 4. So that's how we define a SAS macro, and we call a macro to perform a certain task, and it really helpful because sometimes you can save a lot of time by automating the code.